guys, Cool Blonde Way back. I'm Aaron.
I'm Calvin.
Rick.
Candy.
And we're here for Wonka. Not specifically candy, but Wonka. I did not say that you get candy, Eric. I said that this movie has involvement with candy.
Okay.
I've already seen this movie. I don't believe any of these guys have.
I've seen the original.
I've seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay.
Gene Wilder's great.
Gene Wilder, yep.
Yeah, I also saw it. It was good.
So they've all seen the original Willy Wonka. I've also since seen Charlie and Chocolate Factory now.
Not so good.
My kids have gotten really big into Willy Wonka now.
Did you like it?
Charlie, I don't like it as much as Willy
like
Wonka
it?
now. There's a couple things I like in it, but I don't like it as much overall.
Sometimes I sleep in really, really late, and I wake up as if I'm like, I haven't been out of the bed for like years. Like the grandpa does now.
Do a dance.
I see.
Do the dance.
I will say that Charlie and Chocolate Factory is better than that Wonka experience that they had over in.
We don't know.
You don't
We
know
didn't
that.
go.
You weren't there.
I've heard stories.
Defamation.
This isn't like you're thinking
what that
about
sounds
zoos. Like I can see it on camera. No, you gotta be there, man. You gotta experience it.
All right.
Gotta have that
might be
one
right.
jelly bean.
That one jelly bean and that unhappy Oompa Loompa lady.
That was the fire festival of Willy Wonka.
You know that unhappy Oompa Loompa lady is like on Cameo now, like making money.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I've seen this one. These guys haven't. So we're going to be checking out Wonka for the first time. And you can see the full length available over at blindwave.com. And also, make sure you update your recommendations for movies, because there's a movie tab where you can update just your movies. And also your TV shows. Go do that, because that's how it helps us decide what we should be watching.
Indeed.
That's the ticket. It's the golden ticket.
After 7 years of life upon the ocean.
It is a musical.
There's a song in the beginning, Eric, okay? I'm sure there's
thing I
no
had.
more.
I want the boat to sink and him step off.
I've got 12 silver sovereigns in my pocket. And a hat full of dreams.
That is a very dangerous road.
That's
Jesus
the
Christ.
Fantastic shot.
Got a little map to tell me where to eat here. Had a dozen silver sovereigns, now I'm somehow down to 10. Want the finest produce, this is where they stock it.
That's 3 sovereigns, mate.
Though the prices are suspiciously extreme.
Break my pumpkin, you pay for it.
I've got 5, 6, 7.
Cleaned your shoe again.
Here's my destiny, I just need to unlock it. Will I crash and burn or go up like...
Did they all just eat it?
Yeah.
Nothing to offer but my chocolate and a hat full of dreams.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
No daydreaming penalty.
3 sovereigns.
3 sovereigns.
I've got 1 silver sovereign in my pocket.
No. But... Oh, fucking knew it.
Make a wish.
Is that the sovereign that Charlie finds down
Charlie
there?
does find one in a water
Yeah, he
grate
finds it.
in
That's the
Willy
one he
Wonka.
used to buy the golden ticket, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it probably alludes to it.
Oh, I have something better than gin, Mrs. Scrubbit. A guest.
Oh, why didn't you say?
Oh, it is. It's a little woman.
Thank you, Mrs. Scrubbit. You and your husband have been so kind to me.
Husband? Him? Oh, you'd love that, wouldn't you?
Oh.
Oh,
No.
Thank you.
oh, it's the least I can do for a stranger in need. Now, sign here and we're all done.
Read it.
Read the small print. What? Thank you, Noodle, that'll do.
Oh, what'd you say?
Who's that in?
The girl.
What girl?
That girl. It sounded like read the small print, and there does seem to be a lot of it. Oh. Oh. Well, that all seems to be in order.
Billy?
Uh-huh.
Hello. I do love his voice.
Okay, well, Mr. Wonka, the entrepreneurial suite. Here's your 4 poster. And your Sync Plus soap, and there's a little mint on your pillar.
Fantastic. What kind of wall?
I like his big, long shots.
Yeah.
Really feels like a play, almost.
Sure, yeah. A lot of it has that feel.
Love how his cane just stands like that.
When it hatches from its shell, it gives a happy yell. Woohoo! How thrilling to be living in a chocolate hotel. It beats its wings with glee, and then as you will see, the chocolate will levitate and float most gracefully.
Was that Matt Lucas?
It is, yeah.
Let's try one of these so-called hover chocks. Ooh. It's not just chocolate, is it? There's marshmallow,
Smile.
caramel,
Butty, salted, with the bittersweet tears of a Russian clown.
and I can safely say that of all the chocolate I have ever tasted, this is without doubt the absolute 100% worst. Woo! There we have it, ladies and gentlemen, an endorsement from Mr.
Wait, the worst? It's a shame. If you thought the chocolate was weird, you're gonna hate what happens next.
What's that?
Sign me up.
Who in their right mind wants a chocolate that makes you fly?
Well, let's find out, shall we?
Who's for a hover choc?
For money.
I was like, that'd be an interesting experience. I feel like you get a lot of people interested in that.
One sovereign. Thank you, madam. Enjoy your flight.
He's gonna be flying gun.
The flying gun.
There it is.
Remember the fizzy drink that he had in the movie?
Now is when you say money.
All right, folks, nothing to see here. Just a small group of people defying the laws of gravity. Hook 'em, boys.
Believe we said a sovereign?
For the room, yes, but you have incurred a few extras during the course of your residency with ourselves.
I don't have 10,000 sovereigns.
Then we have a problem, Mr. Wonka.
You're going to have to work it off in the wash house, ain't ya? At a sovereign a day.
10,000 days is...
27 years
Hey!
4 months.
and 16 days.
But...
Dropped down the laundry chute as a child.
And even if you could get out, that contract is watertight.
If you're not here at roll call, Mrs. Scrubbit will call the police. They'll bring you right back, and she'll charge you $1,000 for the inconvenience.
Yeah. All right, everybody, back to work. Come along, Mr. Wonka.
I feel like the only course of action is to kill him.
Kill them?
I'm kind of there.
This is like a Saw-like environment.
Saw.
Wait, we gotta fight back.
I'm making chocolate, of course. How do you like it? Dark, white, nutty, absolutely insane?
I don't know. I've never had any.
What? You've never had chocolate?
Still, no.
This is unbelievable. I mean, this is outrageous. Well, lucky for you, Noodle. I have a selection of the world's finest ingredients right here in my travel factory.
So cool.
Yeah, it's
really
awesome.
cool.
It's all practical.
Yeah, right?
Did you always want to make chocolate?
No. Back when I was your age, I wanted to be a magician. My mom was a cook. We lived on the river, just the two of us, in a perfect little world of our own.
Theirs can't be any better than yours, Mama. It's impossible.
Well, as it all happens, I do know a little secret that even those fancy pants don't.
So, what was it, Willy? What was the secret?
I never found out. Soon after, she fell sick. That's why I'm here, Noodle. So I can feel the same way I did back then. Eating chocolate with her. My mom once promised that when I shared chocolate with the world, she'd be right there beside me. Here, try one.
Kind of reminds me of the gobstopper machine. Like it's just doing something and out comes candy.
I've come to make a confession. You sound great, fellas. Keep it up.
What?
I have had 150 of these since my last confession.
Temptation is very hard to resist.
Oh my god.
Set me down.
Did not expect that.
What did this?
See you later.
Oh my god.
I kind of expected this more than that.
Good evening, gentlemen. I brought my invoice. One chocolatier moved on for the usual fee. Oh, here we go, baby.
Chocolate is Illuminati.
Wonka!
Toilet blocked again!
Oh, wow. The unmistakable sound of love.
You what?
Don't tell me you hadn't noticed.
What?
She's madly in love with you.
Mrs. Scrubbit!
You do know what they say, right?
What do they say?
She'll be thankful for an ankle
Yes.
and pleased to see your knees.
Right.
But if you want to make her sigh,
Tell me.
show her some thigh.
I love that sound.
Tell me. The way he whispers it to him.
I was collecting laundry from Professor Monocle the other day.
Yeah?
He's writing a book about the Bavarian royal
Sounds like an
family.
aristocrat.
Boring.
He's got sketches of noblemen all over his wall.
So,
And this one looked rather familiar.
The Bavarian royal family.
Blow me. That looks exactly like...
Mr. Bleacher.
Baron Bleachowitz.
Yeah.
Oh, so you finally managed to drag your lazy...
Yeah, look at the thigh.
Show her some thigh.
Have you done something with your hair?
Maybe. Maybe not.
We saw this, and we're gonna be. Oh no.
What's going on, Willy?
Not again.
Where are the chocolates?
I'm not to tell you this, Noodle, but they've been stolen.
Stolen?
Mm-hmm.
Who by?
The little orange man. Only problem is I'm all out of milk.
Well, that's not a problem. Milk.
A, that is stealing. And C, Willy Wonka does not use any old cow's milk. For this particular creation, I require the milk of a giraffe.
Giraffe.
Okay.
Giraffe milk.
They're not gonna let you just walk in there and milk it.
That, my dear Noodle, is why we're very lucky the little orange man didn't find this.
Recognition of your years of service.
But I've only been here a year.
Which is why there's only one chocolate.
Next year you get two.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good night.
That was a clever cover-up. That's why there's only one.
So, what is it really?
It's called a big night out. A single chocolate that perfectly mimics a night on the town.
Oh no.
I love you so much. What? It's Basil Bond. We sat together in chemistry in school. No, don't hang up.
Finally, some old pork from the back of the cupboard.
Well, you know what? He shot his shot.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They start with it.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Good evening.
Not a hippogriff.
Nothing rhymes in Noodle. Where'd you get that name, anyway?
Strudel.
Doesn't matter.
Oodle.
Oh, go on.
Oodle.
Doodle.
It's all I have from my real parents. See? And for Noodle. Or Nora. Or Nina. Or nothing at all.
Can't you trace it?
Z.
You don't think I've tried?
For Zorro.
Zordon.
Zardoz.
I got it, Noodle. Listen to this.
Noodle, noodle, apple strudel. Some people don't and some people doodle. Snakes, flamingos, bears, and poodles. Singing this song will improve your moodle.
He's doing so well.
What's a noodle?
We're having oodles and...
Y'all got one.
Better get out of here, Noodle.
Willy...
Don't worry about me. I've talked my way to tighter spots than this. I'll meet you back at the cart.
What do you give her?
Milk.
The milk. The milk.
This is about Abigail. I got a message for you, pal. Whoa! Oh. Do not sell chocolate in this.
You can't hear.
You hear me that time?
I have water in my ears.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Sell chocolate in this town again, you're gonna get more than a bonk on the head.
I don't have a bonk on the head.
What is with me today? Can you give me just a second? Sure.
Plan is to sell chocolate and pay off Mrs. Scrubbit. At least that was the plan until...
Let me guess, you had a little run-in with the chief of police.
How do you know that?
Because I was Slugworth's accountant, until I realized there were two sets of books. Slugworth, Fickelgruber, and Prodnose have been in cahoots for years. A sort of chocolate cartel, if you will. They've been watering down their chocolate and storing the excess in a secret vault deep beneath the cathedral, guarded round the clock by a corrupt cleric and 500 chocoholic monks.
Chocoholic monks!
500 chocoholic monks!
And past the mistress of the keys, a subterranean sentinel who has...
Oh my gosh, she knows Kung Fu.
I guess what I'm trying to say, Barbara, is, will you marry me?
Oh, I don't know, Colin. You're a lovely man, but I'm looking for someone to sweep me off my feet, you know, whisk me off to a life of adventure. Could that be you?
No. Chronic lack of self-confidence. I'd best be off.
What was this?
Monsieur, can I help you?
Oh, waiter. You have anything for a broken heart?
Well, there's chocolate, and there's chocolate. Only Wonka's makes your confidence skyrocket.
It doesn't even work here.
Put your hand into your pocket. Get yourself some Wonka chocolate.
Madam, just one kiss.
His voice.
Have you tried his new one? No. Oh, you've got to have a go.
Just pop one in and everything becomes a Broadway show.
Just everywhere chocolate.
The news that makes you gasp, the jokes that make you laugh.
All that you say and do all day will be choreographed. Don't despair, I come prepared. Behold my hair repair eclair. It's made from
Hair repair eclair. I like it.
vanilla. Take heat, eat more than 3, and you'll end up like a gorilla.
Just kidding. And there's chocolate. Oh, look at the
nice.
Oh, put a sock in it. Make sure they're all frisked. Have you ever had chocolate?
You haven't had Wonkas yet.
I've never had chocolate like this. All right, where is he? Where did he go?
Look at him! 1,800 boxes or whatever.
That's a lot of chocolate.
I want a man on every storm drain in the city.
Are you sure, sir? Shouldn't we be focusing on all those unsolved murders?
No. This is the priority.
Unsolved murders?
Every few weeks, right?
Every few weeks he comes in for the last 3 or 4 years.
For a lifetime supply.
Yeah, I remember the trailer now.
Yeah.
Well then, young man, allow me to refresh your memory in the form of a song so ruinously catchy that it may never leave your mind.
Oh, I don't think I want to hear that.
Too late. I've started dancing now. Once we've started, we can't stop, you see? My job was guarding what little we got. You came along and pinched the lot.
Hey, why didn't you say something?
Well, perhaps I drifted off. Oompa, loompa, doompa day.
They all do.
When I awoke, they sent me.
They kind of look like Vatican guards in that outfit.
All right. Thank you. Now, would you be so very kind as to pass me that miniature frying pan. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I say, that is quite a beast, isn't it? Now, come a little closer. That's it, closer, closer, closer. Come on, cozy on up. There we are.
What?
Ow! Oompa Loompas do not negotiate. Good day, sir.
Oh, but that's my last jar!
I said good day.
It's got a grappling hook.
As it so happens, we don't need to sell chocolate today.
Why is that?
You know that shop? The one you've been dreaming of?
You got space.
So, what do you think, Willy? Do you like it?
Noodles, just as I always imagined. No. Scratch that. It's better than I imagined.
I mean, look at this place. I mean, yeah, it's a wreck, but the potential, the bones!
Those things are so heavy.
He came out, he's so stealthy, and like it's just chucking.
Oh, Mr. Snowcraft. Just a minute, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Who is it, Puffy? You are? It's not me. It's Mr. Slugworth.
He's been sneaking out to sell chocolate with the help of your serving girl.
Little brat.
Well, quite. I wondered if you might help me put an end to their business.
Lightning. He does have a good face.
Doesn't he?
Here we go, Mama.
Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you all, and welcome to Wonka's.
Close your eyes and count to 10. Make a wish now. Open them.
The world of our own, where we can be free.
Do you eat it? What do you do with that?
Maybe break it open?
Wherever life takes you.
Chocolate milking cow.
This is our home.
I don't want to lift a cow's tail to get whatever comes out.
Everything.
Feels like the first version of his like chocolate factory, like you know. They even reveal it kind of the same, where it's like
Bargain at twice the price.
Thank you, sir. And how would you like your change? Spendable or edible?
Oh, edible, please. Enjoy.
Nice.
you get edible change.
Well, that way you round it out to like exactly what you paid or gave him. That's cool.
Look at that pretzel.
It's massive.
Blue hair.
Blue hair.
Oh my goodness. That's impossible. Unless
eyebrows.
Yeti sweat?
Yeti sweat.
It appears that the chocolates have been poisoned. Poisoned?
Poisoned?
Poison my child.
I didn't poison them. I want
So much hair.
I want revenge.
Dude, that one guy's Yeti hair was growing so crazily.
Yeah.
No, please.
Damn these people.
This is what you get for mustaching my daughter.
Oh my
That's
God.
not made of chocolate?
Every good thing in this world started with a dream. So you hold on to yours. And when you do share chocolate with the world, I'll be right there beside you.
Terrible shame what happened here. We may have encouraged Mrs. Scrubbit to enhance your creations.
We paid her to poison them.
Yes, thank you, Gerald.
You're welcome.
This is the precise amount you owe Mrs. Scrubbit. And this is for the girl.
You could change her life, change all their lives.
What would I have to do?
Leave town. Oh, and never make chocolate again.
Lumpa, lumpa, lumpa diddy. I'm not in premium economy. I'd go first class if I were you. That's what Oompa Loompas trumpeted do. Oh dear, please don't tell me you're going to go through with this ridiculous deal.
I have to. For Noodle. I promised her a better life. And Pinky promised.
You should stand up to those bullies. Give them the old 1-2.
Yeah, arson.
Arson?
I don't know.
Because they burned down his place?
I don't have any good ideas.
I guess they didn't burn it down.
Look, where Slugworth shook my hand. His ring left a mark. See? It's an A, surrounded by S's.
So what? His name is Arthur Slugworth. It's probably a family ring.
Yes, but Noodle has one just like it.
Noodle?
Uh-huh.
Well, come on, Wonka. Spit it out. Produce your owl pellet of wisdom.
There's no time. I gotta get back.
Captain! Wonka, come back here. Wonka, I demand an explanation.
Captain?
Oh my god!
What the hell? Cartoonishly amount of dynamite on that.
So much dynamite.
Hello, Noodle.
Willy, I thought you'd gone.
I did. Slugworth promised you a better life, but...
That is a long-ass ladder.
We all did.
Hey, Noodle!
He wants to know.
You said the cartel keep a record of all their dirty deeds.
In the Green Ledger, yes.
So if we can get hold of that, we can prove that they poisoned our chocolate. Scrubbit and Bleacher would go to jail and we'll all be free.
The cartel will simply bribe their way out of trouble. It's what they do.
The greedy beat the needy, Willy. It's just the way of the world.
Change the world.
Where do we start? Could you spare a piece of chocolate for a starving orphan?
I'm sorry, my child. I don't have any on me.
Oh. Then have some acacia mints. Yes!
Gonna stick a giraffe on him?
Mm-hmm.
Employee of the week. No, that's lovely.
No, they got him again.
Employee of the week. I don't know how they really haul giraffes, but that must be pretty close. I don't know what else you'd do.
Crikey, it's the Irwins hauled a giraffe and something like
Yeah?
that. Yeah? It's full.
There. Nice giraffe. Run!
This isn't sacred ground to me.
What have I done to deserve this?
You know what you've done, Julius. You've sold your soul for 30 pieces of chocolate.
30 pieces of chocolate. That's what.
Isn't that the
30 pieces of silver?
Yeah.
Dang, we don't get sued.
Thanks for all your hard work, Father Julius and the Chocolate Cartel.
Wow. She can really move.
Oh, I could have been happy, but I threw a pearl away. I'll give him a call. No, I can't. I will give him a call.
Oh no. Is this her? Yes, it is.
Nothing.
Well, keep looking.
It's not in here, Willy.
The advocate said that it was here.
All because he's been in the washout for the past 4 years. Maybe all the scrubbing has gone to his head. Because all that's down here is just a bunch of stupid old chocolate.
Hey, she rolled a 20.
Investigation. That really is one of the kind of moments, right?
Naughty, Mr. Wonka. You've caused us quite a bit of trouble. You and your urchin.
Your family.
What? What are you talking about, Willy?
You know that ring, Noodle? The one your parents gave you? Mr. Slugworth has one just like it. Don't you, Mr. Slugworth?
That belonged to my brother, Zebedee.
Was he my father?
Was a Z.
It was a Z, Rick.
Aha!
We're nailing this movie.
Zoodle!
But 9 months later, your mother turned up on my doorstep,
The woman.
begging me to get a doctor for her sick little
Oh, look at that baby.
Oh, no.
Instead, you put me down a laundry chute.
Bye-bye, baby.
Oh my god.
When your mother returned, I told her you had died. She was heartbroken, of course, but I gave her a handful of sovereigns and had her escorted from my property.
Didn't mean hand him to her.
My mom. What was her name?
Let me see. No, I don't think I could remember that. Sorry, but you have to understand. She was very poor.
What?
Death by chocolate.
Enough to dilute their bodies.
On you go.
I'd rather be shot.
It's like those things from
Maybe you
Fallen
can
Order.
eat your way out.
I don't think I can, Aaron.
I was wondering if you could give this to someone. Only if you happen to see him.
Who is it?
Little orange man.
Eh?
I owe him a jar of chocolates, you see. Well, I think these might be the best I ever made.
Well, in that case, I'll make sure he gets them personally. Best chocolate he ever made,
It's a great face.
Somebody help, please!
Please help!
Help!
Look!
Playing in a very small
Somebody's
window.
coming, look!
Yeah, right? It's like, we're here. Now someone save us.
This is dark.
It's more like milk.
Definitely milk chocolate.
You have made a very grave error, gentlemen. You steal from an Oompa Loompa, we take back 1,000-fold.
Man, they were in chocolate for a while.
The little orange man! Look!
What?
The little orange man!
Thank you, little orange man! Thank you!
I feel like I think I'm delirious or something, you know,
Yeah.
holding my breath too long. Like, oh, no.
Swimming in chocolate.
Little orange man.
The rappers.
Car shrunk. A couple of thieves broke in, but I'm afraid they met with a little accident. In which they died. That's actually a rather good joke.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Officer, would you kindly take a look at this?
Gentlemen, you're under arrest.
Run. Putting handcuffs on him?
That's okay, Noodle.
All right.
Give it 1 second.
Yeah.
Hey, Noodle! What is that?
They're gonna die in the upper atmosphere.
Right? They're just gonna float away.
Yay!
If they don't die in the upper atmosphere, then they'll die on the ground when it wears off.
Maybe it wears off
Until then.
easily. Unless they shoot that tree real quick.
Yeah, he said it was extra strength.
Here comes. Thank you.
No, don't go in front.
Do you know how many people in this city are named D. Smith?
106.
And luckily, you have a friend who works at the telephone exchange. And she spent the entire afternoon ringing around. And guess what?
We found her.
You found my mom?
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
Like they use her like dream thing of the giraffe.
The drawing.
Yeah.
If you want to view paradise, simply look at them and view it.
So goes a good deed in a weary world.
I was wondering if I'd see you again.
I'm not going anywhere, Willy Wonka, not until you've paid your debt. Now, I know you tried. Loompa law is very clear on this subject, until such time as the chocolate is physically in my hand.
Yeah, it's a shame you have to go.
I said good day.
I'm gonna share my chocolate with the world. I'm gonna need more than a shop.
I'm sure you will.
I'm gonna need a factory.
Well, good luck with that.
And someone to head up the tasting department.
The tasting department.
If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world, there's nothing to it.
Not bad.
There is.
It's like Cup Gene Wilder took a bite of, huh?
If you truly wish to be.
Oompa, loompa, doompa-dee-doo. I've got a little bonus for you. Sit back down and stay in your seat for the last Oompa Loompa-ish treat. Abacus Crunch returned to his home. Thence to her friends, Lottie Bell to her phones. Brave Larry made a triumphant comeback. One day his ex-wife saw the act, laughed a lot and took him back. Oompa Loompa Doompa-dee-day. But what of Mrs. Scrubbit and Bleacher, you say? Give me just a moment or two, and I'll Oompa Loompa show it to you.
Quick, drink the evidence!
Drink
the evidence? Just a second, officer!
All the poison. Gotta hide the evidence.
Well,
How can we help you, officer?
you two are coming with me.
We ain't done nothing.
You're going away for a very long time.
My last kiss, my lord.
Puffy Wuffy.
Mystique and the Hulk. Yeah, right? Alright, what you guys thoughts on Wonka?
I thought it was good old family fun. Had a good time.
I think it's one of the more like fun, wholesome, and like silly movies at the same time. Like there's definitely elements of it where it's like, this is silly.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
But I think it like kind of thrives on that a bit. Like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, especially when you get to the factory, things are just weird and silly. You know what I mean?
Unexplainable.
Yeah, right? Like they go through that like
you do
foam
kind of,
car and all of a sudden it's just gone and they shrink and grow and I don't know.
You do kind of miss that edge that Wilder puts on the character a little bit, where it's just like, wait, should I trust you? You know?
Sure,
And this, like, he's a good guy, and there's no.
This, he's more
mystery.
Mary Poppins.
Sure, yeah. Later on is after like there's the one guy who like is seen with all the kids and is like whispering in their ears and everything. You find out that he's like trying to get some recipe, right?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
He was working for Slugworth, so Slugworth is that guy there. But I think it's like that is after he's jaded and realizes he can't trust anybody, so he shuts down the factory, kicks everybody out, and brings in a bunch of Oompa Loompas, and he has them just doing all the work. So that might be a little bit more jaded and stressed Willy Wonka maybe, whereas this one's trying to just find that feeling of when he was a kid and he got that one birthday chocolate every year from his mom kind of thing.
Right, he's chasing that dragon.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
I mean, one of my favorite like genres of videos is like babies experiencing
X for the first time.
For the first time, and you know sometimes they'll get chocolate, they'll go like, you know, they go nuts for it.
Yeah.
And it's only in that first moment that you can really feel like something's changed for them, you know? So that's good.
To rewire their brain.
Yeah, exactly.
I suppose it kind of speaks to the original movie in a way. A little. Like, trying to recapture that magic.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Well, because like in that one, and it's one of the things I don't like about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as much as Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You see a lot more of Charlie and stuff early on, and like elements of factory stuff.
Oh, okay.
Whereas like in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder, you don't see Charlie or you don't see Willy until he comes out of his factory.
Yeah.
And then they have like kind of this thing where like you are seeing the factory, like he opens that door and you see it with the kids at the same time and it's like, whoa, what's this place? So like there's a bunch of buildup and you just see like it's just like this guy's poor house and family and like he's in these crappy roads and getting money out of the gutters and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, well, this doesn't look that magical. And then you get there and like, whoa, look at this. Everything's
It's like Wizard of Oz when it goes into color.
yeah,
definitely.
It's kind of like that. So I kind of like, they kind of do that with the chocolate shop. Whenever he's like, come here and check this out. It's like, this place?
Yeah.
Like, it looks like nothing. And he's like, yeah, well, come with me. And then you get in there, and it kind of has that semblance of that chocolate world, too, with, like, the river, and they're like, you know, eat the basket. Like, everything's edible kind of thing. And it's kind of fun with that. But even the song he sings during that part, too, I like, because it's talking about a world of your own, and it's still talking about trying to capture that, the magic of when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Like, that was when Ayla was watching with us, and she was sitting with me and Melanie, and she said, I really like his imagination. Most grown-ups don't have imagination like his. And I was like, oh, man.
It got jaded, huh?
That just sounds so sad, but I get what you mean, you know? Like,
yeah.
The moment at the end with his mom's bar of chocolate really got to me, because this Christmas, my sister got me one of the most meaningful Christmas gifts I've ever gotten. She got me a wood cutting block, and wood carved into it in my mom's handwriting is the recipe for my favorite dish my mom made, which was hash brown casserole. And like she had it carved into there, and it's signed with her name. It's a really beautiful gift, and like that moment there, like got me, you know.
Yeah, it's the last thing he has from her.
Yeah,
I love that they also kind of like they put the golden ticket in there too, with it's a note from the mom of what the chocolate, like the secret of the recipe is.
Yeah, sure.
And I was like, well, that's cool that it kind of ties, like, the golden ticket's important to him, too, when he's older. Because it's like when he got it from his mom, as when he puts it in later for Charlie and the rest.
Yeah, right? And he's kind of jaded in that movie, right? Like, with the whole process. And he's trying to find, like, that one kid that it's still special to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I haven't watched it since I watched that, but, like, the end there, he's like, well, I can't give my factory to an adult. They'd want to do it their way, and they wouldn't want to listen to mine, and who knows what they do with the Oompa Loompas, you know, like, that kind of thing. So I was talking with Melanie and the kids at one point, and I'm like, in that movie, like, does he either A, is planning for it to be Charlie the whole time, or B, gives each of them a test that is definitely against their nature?
Yeah.
Because, like, each one of them is like, oh, here's a room that you can eat anything in the room.
Yeah.
And the one kid falls in the river and gets stuck in the tube, you know? Here's a TV, like, candy machine, and that kid loves television, so he gets sucked into it. Charlie's big thing is that his family's really poor, and they could use the money to sell it to Slugworth.
Because he's the needy, not the greedy.
Yeah.
Right?
And he's the only one out of those, because, like, they drank the fizzy pop stuff, too. But that was, like, his reason why they failed.
Yeah.
But I felt like he says they failed to see if he'll take that and go sell it, and if he will, then he's not the one to do it Willy's way.
Sure.
So it was interesting watching that and then trying to think about, because I feel like there's a lot of comparisons with this to that one, not so much Charlie.
Yeah.
I really wanted to watch Charlie to see what it was like, and that one just didn't hold up to me.
Yeah, I never bothered to watch it. I don't know how I feel about Hugh Grant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
As an Oompa Loompa?
Yeah. Like, it never crossed over the uncanny valley because of his proportions for me. Like, I could not notice.
Sure.
To the point where I'm just like, just hire a little person. But maybe they don't want to be like, oh, we're only good for Oompa Loompas, you know? I don't know.
Sure, yeah, I don't know.
It just feels strange to me still.
Mel and I talked about that a little bit too, because like in Willy, they hire a bunch of little people. In Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they hired one.
Yeah.
And he did all of it over and over and over. But I was like, is that like bad if you hired little people for little, like, I need a little person in this.
I mean, it depends on the vision of the storytellers. I mean, this Hugh Grant is way smaller, you know, than the Oompa Loompas I've seen.
Yeah.
And they even talk about how they make fun of him for it.
For being smaller.
Yeah. But, I don't know. That was like the only part of the movie where I was just kind of like, I don't get this decision. Like, I don't think he did a bad job or anything. I just don't get the decision.
Why shrink him down kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. He felt like a floating head on top of a animated body. Especially,
it didn't look bad. It was just, I couldn't get over it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, especially during the part where he's like, I'm dancing now.
Yeah.
Like.
Can't stop.
Can't stop. Too late.
It felt like his body was moving and he was just being placed on top of it, especially in that scene. And it felt like they were calling it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's true.
That was from the trailer. Yeah. I remember that.
I mean, it's funny. You know. It's Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
My two favorite characters were Bleacher and Miss Scrubbit.
Scrubbit and Bleacher.
Yeah, I really liked them.
They're very over the top, but great, like, villainy kind of people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're so villainy, but you also kind of like
them?
you want them to feel love, and maybe they'll change.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
that type of thing. Like the three chocolate
Cartel guys.
Cartel guys. Yeah, I wanted to like burn them.
Like, I
and
hate
all
these
their
guys.
possessions.
Yeah.
I thought like, well, maybe Gene Wilder will do something about this, but this is Willy Wonka.
Yeah, Willy Wonka. No, I love the other two guys have their quirks and stuff, but Slugworth, there's just something about the way he does his face. Like there's so many like little smiles or smirks or eye movements and stuff that I don't know. I love the little bits that he does.
Yeah, they're just real evil. Like they're watching a child drown. and
Oh,
laughing,
yeah.
you know,
2 children.
Like they're real evil.
Oh, he threw a baby down a laundry chute. You know, like
I just don't feel like they got enough.
Well, now they're floating away to who knows where. And
Yeah, I guess so.
probably
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they got hit by a plane or something.
Well, they must come back though, right? Because they try to buy the factory.
Well, yeah, in Willy Wonka, he hires a man saying that he is Slugworth or works for Slugworth. I can't remember which one it is. And then he comes out and is like, "No, I just hired him. He's not for Slugworth at all, or he's not Mr. Slugworth at all."
Yeah.
So I don't know. They could still be in prison, and he's just using that name, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the cops' growth. I just thought it was funny. Him,
His
like
literal growth.
The very first one, like I was not ready for. Whenever they're all dancing and stuff, and the people part, and then he's just like twice the size he was before. I was like, oh, geez.
Expected them to be rolling him around.
Expected it to be like the guy from the
Big Trouble in Little China?
Well, I was gonna say the restaurant skit from Monty Python.
Yeah, from the last movie.
Yeah.
They did.
Car Shrunk. I just like that.
Car Shrunk. Yeah.
I also like there's the one song where they're talking about there's chocolate and then there's chocolate. The one guy who's like, "Oh, I want someone to come and sweep me off my feet. Is that you?" No, like he gave up. But I love whenever he's like people seem to look right through. Like there's something brown on the bottom of their shoes. Like, have you been following me? Like he's like so like, how do you know all this?
Yeah.
I was like, man, that guy thinks so little of himself. But.
Mm-hmm.
No, I thought that Timothee, is that how you say his name? Timothee Chalamet?
Timothee.
Yeah,
Chalamet.
they did a good job.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know what his voice was like or anything like that. I thought it was good. It was very soft and pleasant to listen to, you know. Like, you always got a feeling with Gene Wilder that, like, he's all hopped up on sugar, you know? Whereas you don't really get that here, but that's also an older version of the character, too.
Sure.
Where here he's, like, trying to achieve a dream and finally gets to do it. And now he's turned that into a capitalist venture, and it will break him.
I guess so, yeah.
I think it'll eventually break him.
I feel like the idea comes to just like he still just wants to share his chocolate with the world in a general sense, but like I love that he's like when Noodle comes down, he's like he makes the best chocolate in the world. He's like, you flatter me, Noodle, but she's right. Like he thinks highly of his chocolate as well.
Yeah.
But he just wants to really share this stuff. I also like that Noodle kind of becomes a big friend of his because like they're both poor, but it kind of. Yeah,
that was so funny.
The next time that comes back,
Felix?
like if you forget about it, you're like, oh yeah, that's so funny. But kind of like how Charlie was like the poor person that he ended up giving it the factory to. Like there's Noodle who he's offering a lot of time supply to as well, and he like helps her to meet her dreams and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of supposed to mirror that a little bit, while not exactly either.
Sure. Well, I mean, he sees himself in the disadvantage, right? Because he and his mom were poor on the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time I watched this, I don't remember it, but it was later listening to the songs. Like the very beginning song when he's talking, he says about spending 7 years on the ocean to get to this place, and I was like, dang, 7 years on the ocean. Like, has that been straight? Did that boat stop at Loompa Land so we could get those cocoa beans? Like, because he's only been following for like 3 or 4 years, right?
Yeah. Well, he would have had to have gotten all of those ingredients.
Yeah. He went to the cherry pickers at the Japan Gardens or whatever it was, and the
Yeti tears.
I mean, how old is
Imperial Japan?
The Russian clown or whatever that cried.
How old is Willy meant to be in this?
In this one? I don't know.
Would you say that he's like 17, 18 and he left right after his... I don't know.
I mean, maybe. He was, I don't know how old there. When and then the mom died shortly after, so that was the last bar she made, I assume, right?
Yeah.
So if you add, let's say he's 10 and you add 7 years or so, let's say he's 18.
Yeah.
Just round it there.
Okay.
I think Chalamet is 22, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that when you filmed this.
I would believe it.
Something along those lines. I guess him and the two front runners were Chalamet and Tom Holland for being Wonka.
Yeah.
But
it's a tough role to fill.
It is.
Yeah. Definitely. There's definitely moments that I feel Gene Wilder and Chalamet's.
Mm-hmm.
I like his when Noodle says about I've never had chocolate before, and he has one of those what like kind of moments. Like it just felt for some reason it felt like a Gene Wilder kind of like an explosion out of nowhere.
It felt like the slightly controlled manic kind of personality coming out.
Whenever he was putting together the first chocolate for her, and it was like thunderstorm and sunshine, he's putting it together. It really reminded me. Did you guys ever hear of the Doritos Super Bowl or the Doritos commercial that guy made for Doritos that they rejected? And it's like it's really you can find it on YouTube, but he's like putting together sunshine and the tears of dolphins and all this stuff, and he's trying to make Doritos, trying to recreate it. He's like, dang it, I made gold again.
Made gold again.
He can't do it. That's what it reminded me of.
I made gold.
For some reason, they didn't like the commercials. They denied it.
I also like the what is he? Father Julius and his monks. Like, there's a silly moment there where he comes in. You're like, he comes into the church and goes to the chocolate cart. Weird, okay. And then you get to Crunch, and he's like the 500 chocoholic monks, and I was like, this is crazy. And at that point, I was like, okay, just don't. He kind of floats around a little bit on the balloon or the one lamppost and stuff, but the further you get into it, okay, have fun with this.
Did we ever see the person that can fight real well?
That was Gwynny.
That is them. Okay,
that is Gwynny. Yeah.
It's just every time they went down, the cop was able to walk through, and then they gave her the chocolate and she passed out.
I guess that makes sense.
So they never had to fight her.
Yeah, Gwynny and Basil.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see Willy fight with his cane?
Kind of.
That'd be kind of cool.
I was super looking forward to that as well. I was like, oh, she knows kung fu.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then I like the ongoing flamingo joke kind of thing. Sure. They talk about not knowing where they go, and then they all fly off. Then you see them kind of flying around, and then later on, it's like, that seafood truck spilled. And there's so many flamingos nowadays. They just got out of the zoo, and now they're just everywhere.
They're just populating everything.
I just think it's funny to have Could you imagine going outside just flamingos all over the place? It'd be great. Or
I've been to Florida.
Are there flamingos everywhere? They just wander in the roads.
I've been to Florida a lot. I've never seen that many flamingos.
But yes, Eric, it was a musical. The
Yes.
first Willy Wonka movie's a musical, basically. I mean, there's many songs throughout
Was
it.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory a musical?
There's some songs.
Yeah. I doubt it just because it was originally a book, right? So
yeah,
I just didn't know if that was going to cross over into this adaptation. I didn't know if they're starting over or whatever this was going to be,
Yeah,
it seems like a pretty clear prequel, especially with not really explaining what was going on when he dropped that coin in the grate in the beginning. I'm pretty sure that's where Charlie gets his coin,
Sure, yeah. I don't know if it's meant to be the same town or anything, but it's at least alluding towards that moment, I think.
I mean, it's where he builds the factory, right?
Yeah, he went to that castle place to build a factory. There's a few things that look a little different in the movie, like Willy Wonka. Like where the factory is doesn't necessarily look like where that castle is. No. And then there is, in Gene Wilder's explanation of the Oompa Loompas, he talks about this jungle place they live in, and there's these hornswogglers and things that will eat them, so he saved them from that. But in this, they talk about just looks like a tropical island. Sure. You don't really get the jungle feel of monsters trying to eat them, but maybe there are. It could be a jungle island.
Sure. They have to make chocolates for tribute.
I was gonna say
there's so few.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It is.
They eat them instead.
It's their rarest commodity.
So no chocolate. You get eaten.
Those were huge beans.
They were. No wonder. Well, and that was, I was going to say, Oompa Loompas, they would look big. But even Willy grabbing them, they were the size of his hand or bigger, right?
Well, those are the seed pods, right? And then the beans grow inside.
I feel like the beans are going to be big in there, too, right? Aren't the seed pods not usually that big?
I mean,
that seemed
they're
pretty
fairly big.
That seemed pretty big. And there's only 4 of them.
I guess I've never seen one.
I've also never seen Yeti sweat.
Where'd they get Yeti sweat?
I mean,
Did they steal it
from
from
Yeti?
Yeti, I guess.
Well, yeah, but they poisoned all of his stuff, is what they said, right?
Yeah. So I assume they
took his ingredients.
confiscated his stuff when he got there,
I
but he had
imagine.
it to make the chocolate. So I
He
don't know.
probably doesn't take it everywhere when he goes out, right? So he probably makes the chocolate back at his room. Which is probably where he kept it.
But
I
he
would
can
say.
keep everything in his hat.
I don't know if he can keep everything, can he?
He had his
those are pretty
table in
big.
that hat.
Okay. He didn't have a whole table.
Where'd the table come from?
Which table?
The one where he was in the
sitting at the bench. Or you mean whenever he was running from the cops and he flips the whole thing?
Towards the beginning.
Towards the beginning, and when he's like
Where he's
finishing his
sitting there
first song,
to
and the
sleep
dog
for the
comes
night.
over.
Yeah.
No, he sits on top of the suitcase.
Yeah.
He didn't pull the table out of there. He just
No, he pulled. Yeah,
like,
it was a suitcase.
He pulled out like the cup, the alarm clock, and the candle.
Yeah.
But that was the suitcase. He put it on. Yeah.
That was cool. I did like him blowing the candle into burning it.
Yeah. I like that. And then he's like, "Oh man, it is frozen," and he just starts eating the chocolate.
He just starts like chewing on the whatever it was. Yeah, hot chocolate or coffee or whatever.
Yeah, it's nightcap.
I've never watched one of these movies and been like, man, I want some candy.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really a big candy person anyway, but I always feel like other things, like when I watch anime and they show me ramen, I'm like, oh,
I gotta get some ramen.
Even though it's not real, you know, and this isn't real, but I've never been like, ooh.
I tell you what, when the cop opened the door and all those wrappers spilled out, I was like, "Ooh, Reese's."
Reese's. Yeah, Reese's.
Because those brown wrappers and the cups.
I did read that Chalamet got sick a few times when filming this because of how much chocolate he had to eat at various scenes and stuff too. Whenever they had
Just like popping a whole one in their mouth kind of thing.
I was like, dang.
Every take.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
It's
That would
kind of
suck.
like reading things about Willy Wonka and you're like, oh, the river wasn't good smelling.
Yeah.
Oh, the weird soap stuff in this car was irritating to their skin and caused complications for like a week. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Violet was like sweating like a month later and sweated purple.
Yeah.
Like these are all like things I read at some point
Yeah.
about like,
Gosh.
dang man, these
Yep.
kids went through a lot. No, well, thank you. I enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
I appreciate your sacrifice, I guess. But no, I like a lot of songs. I didn't like them all initially on the first watch per se, but the kids started listening to them, and then I think hearing different elements and stuff throughout, like
It's the best thing about musicals is as you absorb that record over and over again, you feel like you can go along with the movie as opposed to watching it on your own, you know?
Sure.
No, and there's a lot of things that really fit in with like once you understand the plot and you hear like what his words are in the songs and stuff
absolutely.
too, you're like, oh man, that makes so much more sense of what he's saying.
Yeah.
Or you hear like a nod, like, oh, that's back to like Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
And I like there's just nods to, I think the candy is dandy, liquor is quicker is a thing for that one chocolate that he gives Basil, just because everything in that he names off is alcohol. But like when he's coming down the steps at the end of his first song, before he gives the baby and the mom like some sovereigns, he does that like down 2 steps, up 1 step that he does when he first comes in the factory. And there's just fun little things like that I think they use, like the grate for his last sovereign. It falls in, where they just try to connect those a little bit while they're.
Yeah. I was worried something like that was going to happen because he was talking about, kept running out of sovereigns, how few he had and everything. In the first song, he talks about his tattered coat. Oh no, there's going to be a hole in the pocket or something. And it did.
He did.
I liked his hat.
Yeah.
Hat was good.
It's like it was carved out of chocolate.
It did have a chocolate look to it.
Yeah, that velvety kind of.
It looks like one of those like pieces of like costuming thing that they like workshopped for a long time.
Sure,
They
right.
did this right.
It's like, what does Vader's mask look like?
Exactly, yeah.
It's like, let me try a few things. Is this good?
Well, fun movie.
Yeah. No, I think so too.
No, definitely a lot of fun.
And a lot of things like what's the word? The wholesome feel you don't always get. And after, what did we watch last week?
Highlander.
No, last week.
Oh, Sicario.
Sicario. After that, I think it's a nice
You
little
need some
wholesome
wholesome.
refreshness.
Yeah.
Especially after, what's that old man movie?
No Country for Old Men.
That one.
We watched that one months
Hey,
ago.
It's still.
It's like Barbie and Oppenheimer's double feature.
Yeah, we did Barbie first. But no, it was a fun movie. Yep. And hopefully people get a chance to enjoy it. I thought Chalamet did a really good job kind of capturing a Willy Wonka feel, especially like a younger Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
But also just the whole cast, I think, is just fun.
Yeah.
Which is what I enjoyed for it most.
I enjoyed the bass they added to 2 voices. Really give you that presence.
Dude, yeah.
You know?
Bleachers is so good with that.
Dude, we also did pretty good with the naming, and Rick got Z. You know?
We did, yeah.
But it also
we covered
wasn't
them all.
something that you could discover. Like it didn't mean.
Which part? The ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we didn't know the father's name beforehand, so
Yeah.
there's no way you could figure anything out.
No, it wasn't anything that we were going to
Yeah, it
figure
just
out
seemed like
for
a
it.
waste, really.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, is it that we have to figure it out or that we figured it out with them?
It's just a piece of information that once you reveal the secret, it's meant to be, surprising but obvious. But it has to be clear enough where a family can all get that revelation, you know? So,
Sure.
I get it.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
there's definitely not a thing that you're going to realize any more than Willy Wonka shaking a hand and, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way for us to guess that, I guess.
Yeah. There's no
I don't
way.
think that you're supposed to. But there is a hint of it whenever Slugworth's talking with them about the girl, and it's like, you assured us that she wouldn't be a problem.
What girl?
But it could have just as easily had been an inn, right? Like the name didn't matter.
Yeah.
No, the main things were the S's around the edges.
Yeah.
So the name was just, if his name was Nathan Slugworth as opposed to Zebedee.
Yeah.
But
as opposed to like it's an M, but if you turn it actually to W and you're a secret Wonka, like that name has significance. You know?
Sure. Yeah.
So I get you.
No, I mean Slugworth has the if you had watched the other movie more recently, it has the most recognition of those three. The other two are just kind of like I think their chocolate bars are seen in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Gotcha.
In the Candy
In the
Man.
candy shop.
Yeah, in there. Because I remember watching and being like, hey, Friggle Bard or whatever the one is. And then there's another one that has like a Prodnose name, but Slugworth is the one that's said. The other ones are just red in the background at points. So I think it's just trying to push that S towards him more. But no, I don't think it's a thing where you're supposed to be like, I bet you that's for Slugworth. But if it had been an S and her name was Soodle.
Yeah. Soodle. Rhymes with Noodle.
See? How's it doing?
Perfect. All right, I had fun with this movie. I hope we have fun with next week's movie.
Ooh, and the poll. Which you guys can make sure you vote and leave recommendations both over at blindwave.com. Every other week we have a new poll to help us decide what movie we should be watching and update up to 3 movies and 3 shows on the recommendations over there. Just log into your account. You don't need to be a Beyond member or Patreon member or anything. Just have your own account on blindwave.com.
We literally don't know what we're going to watch. Please vote.